Welcome back, beautiful people of the podcasting universe and world. Frankie Rodriguez, Christopher Langsdorff, Anthony Olan, Three Amigos podcast, and we're going back to our favorite topic ever, wrestling. More importantly, the Royal Rumble was Saturday night, and it was a good one. And we're just gonna talk strictly men's and women's Royal Rumble. Rest of the card was kind of unmemorable and very fucking predictable. Let's face it. I think you guys could all agree with me. Even the most casual viewers could say it was going to be pretty predictable. I'd like to think, in terms of the non-Rumble matches.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's start off with the unimportant first. It's the women's Rumble. Just kidding. It's a joke. I love women's wrestling. Women deserve better. Tony Khan, book your women better. And Trips, I hope you're starting to cook more now with what you got because you got good talent on there, for the women's division. So let's see what you can make. So all three of us went Bailey.
Yeah.
Um, I guess the leaks were correct in that sense. So we were right. I
Oh,
was
was that
also
leaked? Oh
I
shit.
think it was slightly leaked. It was like it was she was the favorite. I think she was the
Oh,
favorite.
okay. Cool.
So if you if you bet it enough money, I'm sure you got some money back for that. I don't know if there was a betting favor for her to be the Iron Woman. She did great. I was not expecting her to be the Iron Woman, honestly, because
Ah, she beat the record.
I know instantly already, and like
Yeah.
what didn't
The Rhea just set
yeah,
the
exactly.
record like
Rhea
last
just
year or
set the
so.
record. So that's crazy. But whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just realized Rhea's gonna be a year of champ almost. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for her. Anyways, back to Bailey. Beautiful, wonderful Bailey. Heel Bailey. Do you think she's turning face?
Yes. Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Which
Uh,
is a shame because she's so good as a heel.
she really is, but I
The
feel
one of
like
the few things that dumbass Vince McMahon got right was making her heel.
we're letting her be heel because I think it was her choice, honestly. She talked about it. She's like she wanted to like change it up. And so I guess he heard her out and, I feel like
Yeah.
she would have been on a cutting board had she not turned heel.
She was, yeah, it was pretty bad. It was getting pretty bad. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah, people were booing her when she was a baby. He said thing.
Yeah, dude, she was. I mean, what happened to Liv Morgan when Liv won the title is everybody immediately started shitting on her. It was just like,
Really?
yeah, dude,
I
yes,
don't
it was
remember.
so
It
bad.
was I guess I really wiped it from my mind. I just remember everyone cheering because Ronda lost.
Yes, and then almost immediately Liv started getting booed. There's a promo out there of her like getting booed, and she is so clearly confused. She's like, "What the fuck? I thought everybody liked me." Anyway,
Sorry.
not important.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look,
Why are we talking about the person that got eliminated?
who came in at number 30? What a wasted spot.
Hell, live for
Should have
loser.
should have been Money Banks. Where's she at though? Nah. Um, look, Bailey won was sort of predictable. Kind of sort of, but also like I think I laid out the accolades and I think it was kind talking and looking back at it, like it made sense for her to win. She's literally done everything except this.
Yeah, well
Um,
deserved.
well deserved.
What did you guys think of the match overall?
It was good. I think last year's Women's Rumble, yeah, yeah, I wasn't able to watch fully, but I know I watched the last bit, and you guys agreed last year's women's was good. The women have been better the last few years, I think. The first one was not that good because it was the first one. I mean, it was
Yeah, they had to call in a lot of favors.
yeah. I mean, Oscar winning was great though. That
That
was
was
the first
great.
one.
And then Ronda came out and ruined it.
Oh
But
yeah, I forgot about that. Shit. Wait, let's not talk about
yeah.
that. So yeah, like I thought this was actually really good. Rumble, obviously I didn't watch the first 15. Afterwards, I was able to watch some spots. I heard there was a lot of botching though, mainly because of one Nia Jax wasn't
Uh there was a botch with Kyrie Sane's elimination.
damn.
I don't know if you guys saw, but she was like hanging on the side of the ring. People like memed her into the end of Spider-Man 2, trying to hold the train. Uh,
Yeah, like she
uh,
actually was like holding on to like the LED lights somehow.
yeah, I don't really know what happened, but like she ended up on the outside of the ring, and then basically Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro stopped attacking Asuka. Asuka tried to get her back in the ring. Everybody is very confused as to why she didn't just put one foot on the floor.
I
and
guess
like
she
boost
forgot.
herself back up.
Yeah.
But anyway, she falls off, and then Asuka, you can literally see her go to Bianca, and she's like, "Just eliminate me." So I don't know what spot they had planned, um,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, because I heard Oscar, like I thought they were gonna be in it, and the next thing you know, like like none of them are in there. Like none of the former Kabuki warriors were there.
yeah, it's funny because like it almost had me thinking, like I don't know how you guys feel about the way the match ended, um, but it did have me kind of looking back and thinking like, were Asuka and Kyrie supposed to be at the end of the match? Because like that would have made more sense with the damage control stuff. But because it was like, who was it? Jade, Bailey, and Liv, and then Liv eliminates Jade, and then Bailey just like sort of kicks Liv off of the apron and wins. And yeah, I don't know. It had me wondering if like Asuka and Kyra were supposed to be part of that, but yeah, I did. I
Interesting.
commented when we were talking. I was like, I'm always amazed that more people don't botch the eliminations because
Yeah, you're right.
they're
Yeah,
constantly flirting with like fighting on the apron, going over the ring road, like
yeah.
and yeah. So there was a minor elimination botch there, but
But
still all it's not like Bailey got eliminated. Like it all still worked out.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm happy she won, and it worked out. In the
What did
long run.
you
I thought
think, Anthony,
it was good.
of the match?
Better than the men's. The men's kind of put me to sleep a little bit, honestly. Um,
Mm.
but I enjoyed the surprises. Naomi came back, Jade came in.
Yeah, that was cool.
Um,
Naomi coming back was cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna botch her name. The one from TNA.
Jordan Grace.
Yes, she came in. Um, so that was cool. Kind of surprised to see Piper Niven because, like, God, why is she there? But um,
Hey, leave
yeah.
Piper alone. She can go. She could actually wrestle. I've seen
But it
her
was
wrestle.
it was a fun thing. I kind of got this I don't want to say suspicion, but I think it's kind of like a fact that I just don't know about. I feel like they throw in
Probably.
these big ass wrestlers who are just there to like clean out the ring, like Nia Jax and they had a couple of big guys in the men's, but we were just making fun of Nia Jax in the chat. But it was
Not because she's
enjoyable.
big, but because it was funny to see her get RKO'd by Randy
Yeah.
Orton. That's why.
So it was a funny no, it was a good Royal Rumble, I would say probably the last year's one was better, but
Okay.
this one has some surprises and it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I liked this Rumble. Jordan Grace and there, you know what it was? There were to me in this one because I mentioned this to you guys how like this is just like an overall feeling about the Rumble, and I don't know when this happened, but it doesn't really feel like there's much wrestling in the Royal Rumble anymore. It's like somebody will come in and then almost immediately they're like fighting to throw someone over the top rope.
Right.
And I get that that's like the point of the match, but it's like I always think back to like 2008, I think is when John Cena came back and won it. But that was a great Rumble. There was like somebody come into the ring and then hit a bunch of signature moves and then get beat up. And it started to
Hmm.
feel like you come in and you just get beat up right away. But there were like more memorable moments in the women's Rumble to me, like Jordan Grace and Naomi facing off, Jade
Hugging it
Cargill
out.
and Bianca Belair facing off. Just Jade Cargill's entrance, her eliminating Nia Jax. Yeah, it was cool. It's cool.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
How did Tony Khan botch Jade Cargill?
I
I
don't
know
think
she's not the best wrestler like in the world.
she's not, but also you have to understand, I think it was on her own fruition. And honestly, she should have had a team. I remember she was like on a podcast saying, "Oh, this is where I want to be and stay." And then
Yeah.
next week she like left. Like, okay.
You know, I know this is like such a dumb stereotypical Vince thing that he used to do. But how do you look at Jade Cargill and not think like money? Like this is the next big star. This woman is built like a Greek goddess.
Mm-hmm.
It just like she just looks box office. She just looks like a star.
Right.
And kudos to WWE. They presented her as a star. She was in the final three or four or whatever. Looks like she's probably going to go face Bianca at WrestleMania, which would be amazing.
Chef's
I mean,
kiss.
that match, sign me up. Man, those two are just such athletes. That's going to be so sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun women's rumble. I feel like the right person won. Liv Morgan coming back was cool because I definitely thought she was still injured. Yeah, it's good. With the women have been killing it, man. They've been putting on good
Yeah,
rumbles.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
They've been putting on real good rumbles. And you know
Yeah.
what? You know what? I did like that there were no like Trish Stratus, Lita. Like I'm glad that those people were not in the rumble. They're not gonna win. So if they're not going to win, if these old people are not going to win, I'd much
Mhm.
rather you give the spot to someone who's younger or someone who's, just been overlooked a lot. I'd much rather those people get a shot to be in the Rumble. We do not need Trish Stratus or any of these older divas. It's cool. I respect what they did, but like it's time for the new people to get their shot. So it was really nice to see you know.
You said
Everybody,
cool a few
all the
times. Are you
younger
Carlito?
talent got an opportunity.
I said that Chris was saying cool too often. Who are you, Carlito?
Yeah. He looks like him.
He
I
did the
thought he was
apple
supposed to
thing,
be
so that
on
was
the.
cool.
Yeah.
He did the apple spit thing, so
Yeah, that was fun. Man, they ruined his entrance music though.
I know. They had to
God
give him some
damn.
generic baby face music. Ugh, it's so ugh.
Honestly, dude, so much of the entrance music is so bad.
Yeah.
I have no idea who's coming to the ring. Like,
You think it's just a surprise, right?
oh, it's just brutal. It's
Yeah.
so generic, man. They should have never fired was it CFO dollar sign or
I don't know
whatever?
if they fired him or like they just didn't renew his I don't know. It was stupid. You're right. It's just bad.
They went from Jim Johnson to
Yeah.
CFO dollar sign to whoever the fuck, whatever AI program they're using to make these
And
entrance
probably
themes.
just AI, yeah.
God, so bad. They're all so bad.
Um, I
what
mean
was
with the
with Zelina Vega? Was that an Overwatch outfit she was wearing?
I don't know. I
I
don't
was gonna ask you, man. I have no idea. It
I know
wasn't
she
a Mortal
did
Kombat character. Usually that's what she does.
no, she does everything, man. She's done anime characters, she's done she did Vega, Street Fighter. She does a lot of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Actually, no, she doesn't do very Mortal Kombat. She does that off screen. She does a lot of Street Fighter stuff. I know
Hmm.
last year she did, I think, a fighting character. I just don't remember. And this year I didn't look.
It might have been Juri Han.
Mm.
She's also a commentator in Street Fighter 6, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I just like the wings that she had, I thought it was like an Overwatch character. Since you play Overwatch, I figured you would know who
She
it was.
she does a lot of, I don't think it was Overwatch. But going back to the men's, or I guess fully diving deep into the men's. So Cody won, as we know. Did anybody predict Cody? I can't remember. I already forgot.
Nope.
I said Gunther, right? Well, that's
Three
funny.
Yeah, I
Gunthers.
think we all chose
No
yeah,
fucking
Gunther.
way. We all chose Gunther. You too,
Yeah.
Chris? I know Ant said Gunther, which I was surprised.
I didn't like fully commit to a winner, but I felt like Gunther was a strong possibility.
Wow, we whiffed on
He
that
might
one.
have won the Rumble if if they had known about the CM Punk thing a little bit sooner.
Hmm.
But yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so this one's tough. As we know, as we're recording this, it is Monday night. I've just come back from a mini vacation with my wife. I'm tanned up as fuck. Um, and CM Punk is hurt. And that he got hurt during the Rumble, as we know today. At the time, we did not know, or I guess we probably could have known because afterwards, like there was videos of him like being like tend to and carried off.
Mm,
Um, as I've seen, but at the time we did not know. It literally broke today. They did honestly, they did a great job of keeping it shut for 24 hours. The fact that it
yeah.
made it to tonight is a miracle nowadays, with especially with wrestling leaks and all that. But
Hmm.
um, so obviously it looks like Cody was always meant to win. And didn't look like it was an audible. Like uh it was Phil got pretty heelish in the ring.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out like he's like, I'm not gonna lose to Dusty's kid. I'm like, okay. Okay. All right, Mr. CM, Mr. Phil Brooks getting all heelish on it. So I wanted to point that out. things that I missed in the Rumble. Like he was playing very heelish. Once he did the pedigree, I definitely felt like he was definitely more heel. Um, even though like there's fans out there that continue to cheer this man and will suck from the teeth of this man, even if he shot their own dog in front of in front of him, in front of
Jesus
them,
Christ, man.
and just and tell them it's their fault.
You always give such like visceral, violent examples.
Because this is like, because it's a cult. It really is a cult now, and it's
I
annoying.
know, but heel Punk is that's the best version of CM
No,
Punk.
don't get me wrong. That's great. But also it sucks knowing the fact that he's just bad locker room. He's a bad locker room person, even though some people contradict that. Everyone has a different experience, but from what we saw, just from him coming back in less than a time frame of 2 years, he caused so much drama. And like obviously in WWE, it wasn't gonna fly. I'm happy so far. It seems not to be going down that way. But at the same time, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth knowing that there's fans out there that just think that this man could do no wrong. And
It's crazy that he's injured again.
yeah,
Can we
we
just
called
take
it,
a
and we
moment,
called it.
dude? This guy, what has he been back for like 2 months? He's wrestled one match
Off
at a
screen
house show
at a
at
house show.
MSG. One match. He goes into the Royal Rumble, like you said, at number 27. He takes a Future Shock DDT. Look, I don't want to like get on CM Punk here. This is what it's gonna sound like. I've never in my life seen anyone get injured from that move. I did not know that was possible. He doesn't drop you on your head. Like I don't
Yeah,
even unless you are just so paper thin fragile. It is astounding that he got hurt that way.
yeah.
I
Like
mean,
not just hurt, ripped off the bone tricep tear. Like I like he didn't like break his wrist. He didn't, sprain an
Hmm.
ankle.
Hmm.
Ripped clean off the bone. I I I don't know what to say, man. We
I
joked
mean,
about the fact that he was like gonna get injured immediately.
he's hurt, he's old, he's tired, and he works with fucking children, according to him. So that's probably what.
Kudos to you for knowing that fucking quote.
It's just nuts. It sucks too because like
It's hypocrisy.
it just this like throws this and Brock Lesnar being in the Vince McMahon lawsuit
Yeah,
really is starting to complicate the WrestleMania plans
yeah.
to the point where like Raw's on right now and they open the show by essentially attempting to collectively gaslight us into thinking that Cody versus Seth is actually a bigger match. Stop. Stop it.
Because they're trying to give it to The Rock.
And we touched briefly on this, but dude, whoever's idea was to send Drew McIntyre out there and
Hmm.
double down, like I injured you on purpose. I mean,
I
sir,
slept well last night because I injured you.
oh my God, so good,
I
man.
prayed that he got hurt. Damn.
He went out there, he said to his face, I don't like you. I mean everything I've ever said about you, being a horrible person, locker room
Are we sure you're
cancer.
not the heel? Because you're like, are you sure you're actually a baby face, bro?
Dude, Drew, oh man, so good.
It was
And
great.
what's funny too is like towards the end of that promo when they start fighting, and this is why I love wrestling. It's like
Hmm.
for a split second, I was like, is he really hurt?
Yeah,
Is he really
yeah.
injured? Like I think he is. But like just that little split second of like, damn, did they work me? Did they fucking
Uh-huh.
did they
Yeah,
fake me out?
yeah.
But it reminded me of the Cody Seth match in the Hell in a Cell where Cody went out there because the doctors were like, "Hey man, your pec is already ripped to shreds, so it literally doesn't matter what else you do." And I think that's probably what they told CM Punk. They were like, "Yeah, your arm's fucked.
Right.
So if you want to put over Drew McIntyre and have him rough you up a little bit, go for it.
I'm
Go
sorry
for it."
though. Like, I need y'all to like understand something too. Like right now, what's going on with what happened. He's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite because he's always said, and this is one thing he shit on WWE for because like, I'm not gonna go out and wrestle injured. And yes, you can argue, oh, he didn't wrestle injured, but also like no one's gonna give him clearance to even get physical unless he gives the okay.
That was surprising. It was surprising to see.
Yeah, and also that was another complaint he said about AEW. It was like, oh, like I didn't want to wrestle injured, or I didn't want to drop the towel when I was
Yeah.
injured. Bro, you just went, you got physical while in a fucking cast, my guy.
Yeah. I mean, CM Punk's one of the most hypocritical people in
And like
wrestling. So,
and
yeah.
it'll fall on deaf ears on that cult, and that's why I hate hypocrisy so much. It's what it angers me. It turns me off to a lot of things. I hate hypocrisy. Like I get it. Like I get everyone's capable of it. I'm sure I'm capable. I do it, but at least I catch myself and I apologize. These fans and him, he'll never apologize for it. He's not in the wrong. These fans think he's not in the wrong, and they're not in the wrong. So I hate that. Sorry, I had to point that out though, because like it's stupid. He's like, I don't go out and wrestle injured. I need a clearance by a doctor. Sure, maybe he got clearance to do something minor, but even then, like I feel like he's so fragile and egotistical, he wouldn't go out there even to job out to someone. But guess what? You know what? Fuck it. He's in WWE. Hunter's his boss. Nick Khan's his boss. Everyone. He can't. It's not just one guy in Tony Khan that he can tread lightly on.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
whole board too, and he needs to listen. Basically, The Rock is his boss too, in a
He's got
way.
a lot of he got a lot more bosses now than he did in AEW.
So like he had to do the job. So
Yeah, be
that's the
careful what
one
you wish
thing.
for, right?
Exactly, but he got his money and he gets to sit at home and collect that fucking paycheck and get
What a piece
time
of
added
shit.
to his contract.
Dude,
So
nobody has made more money for doing less in like the last 2 years than CM Punk.
Anthony
This
Rendon.
guy, he's mastered it. He has truly mastered it. Come join a company, act like a jackass, get injured, miss like 8 months, collect a check, dip out.
Him and
It's
Anthony Rendon should
incredible.
talk.
That's incredible. I love it.
But I guess focusing on the Rumble now, like the good part of it. Even though like I agree with some of the assessments too, is like the first half was kind of like just meh. And then after number 15, once Cody came in, that's when the heavy hitters came in, like the mid and upper tier card, like the first couple people were just, okay. The number one and two were genius. I could not have predicted that. And then I'm like kind of mad that I didn't. Like, of course it's gonna
That
be
was
Jimmy and Jay.
fantastic.
It was a great opener.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart, great booking. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen with that now that with the shakeup of pretty much Punk getting hurt and not probably gonna face Seth or Brock or Gunther. Um, but Jimmy and Jay, I look, they're selling on me. It still doesn't make sense story wise. Like it shouldn't
No.
have happened. I'm not gonna forgive that. But do I want to see that at WrestleMania? I think they deserve a one-on-one WrestleMania match to settle this.
Now I want to see it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I will say, small thing, and this is like the old school wrestler fan in me.
sure.
When Triple H and Batista didn't touch each other before their WrestleMania match, I had wished that Jay and Jimmy, I guess,
Hmm.
were a little more hesitant to like go at it to the
Yeah,
point that number three comes in and prevents them from like,
touching and
doing a full hockey fight, like just
yeah.
punching the shit out of each other.
Hmm.
Small thing, but it is what it is.
What's funny is I found the men's Rumble so boring that I didn't even see when Jimmy Uso got eliminated. Like I
Oh,
just
wow.
looked back and I was like, oh, he's gone. Okay, cool.
Can't remember who eliminated him. You know who had a great performance in the men's rumble was Braun Breaker.
Yes.
Dude, that guy looked like a killer.
Dude, when he came flying off the ropes, it reminded me. I was like, yo, this guy flies off the fucking ropes.
Oh,
Forget.
he is an athlete.
He's an athlete.
Yeah.
And me and Chris made was it in this September or was it last year? I can't remember. I just remember me and you made a pretty like scathing argument that he was basically Cena wins LOL Braun because like he was just boring. He was just a boring champ. But it was because he was a babyface. And then once he turned heel, I'm like, okay, there might be something. And I was right. I'm happy to say I was right. That boy can go as a heel. He's much better off as a heel. I would love to see him like do this stuff as a babyface, but the mic skills are just not there
No.
for a baby
Yeah.
face. He's too like broy. He comes off douchey organically, and that's not something to like to say that he might be in real life. I bet you he's not. I'm sure he's a sweetheart. Maybe he's a good dude. I don't know. But the guy like going off and just barking like a complete animal, like an asshole. It's perfect. It's great.
I thought he broke Jordan Devlin, whatever his new name is.
Oh,
JD
JD
McDonough. I
Dunno.
thought he
Yeah.
broke him in half, man. He speared the fuck. Look, for all
He's
the
so
people that have
fast.
come through these doors
Yeah.
and ruined the spear, like Edge, like Roman Reigns, all these motherfuckers who don't know how to do a spear, this guy, he is bringing the spear back. He
Dude,
is
he's
like trying to
flying. He's in the air
trying
when
to
he hits you.
break your body.
All right, I will say I think Roman's spear is better than Lashley's current spear. Lashley could do a spear before,
Yeah,
but
Lashley's
not.
another one that fucked it up. Roman's is not the worst,
It's
but
not. Edge's is the worst, number
Edge
one.
is by
Sorry.
far the worst
Yeah.
spear I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, nah, but Breaker's is top tier. Up
dude.
he's up there
It's
with Goldie,
it
Goldberg.
reminds it brings back the Goldberg spear, man.
Yeah,
The
and it's
only him that and the jackhammer, the only two
it
moves he could
looks
actually
better
do.
too because he's not tall, but he's also not short. And
Yeah.
he's very stocky, so it looks so good cut me off the ropes. And he's strong. He's a strong kid.
And he's fast too, dude.
Yeah,
He's faster than all the people who would usually do the spear. So it just
yeah.
looks like he's shot out of a cannon.
He was a good show. I kind of wish he would have lasted a little longer, honestly.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see more of a showing so like they can hype this kid up more and like I mean even then I'm sure he caught a lot of people's eyes of the people who are casuals and not watch NXT. Um, saw this dude and like, oh, okay, maybe we should keep an eye on him. Like, yeah, you should. He's clearly not a jobber. He's never going to be a jobber. Should never be a jobber unless he like they fuck him up somehow. Well, Vince is gone. He would fuck it up somehow. Um, but yeah, good point in Braun. I was pleasantly surprised seeing him there. The reports are that he was meant to take over Brock's spot, but I also hear Pat McAfee was also kind of thrown in there to do that.
I
So,
heard the idea is that Pat McAfee was there to take Brock Lesnar's number,
hmm
and Braun Breaker was basically given Brock Lesnar's like offense.
right.
Like he was sent in there as the
To be
guy
the
who's
tank.
just gonna murder everybody.
Yeah,
Um,
makes
which
sense.
makes sense
Yeah.
because although, man, would have been cool to see Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar just yeah, that would have been cool. Well, anyway, Brock's
Would have been
probably
nice.
going to jail for a little while, so
Nah, that's not gonna happen. It's a civil lawsuit, man. Sorry.
not gonna see Brock Lesnar in the WWE for
We
a
won't
bit.
see him in the WWE for a while. He's probably gonna be in trouble with the wife at home. Um,
Yeah, a little bit, a little
no bit.
bit.
Um, are you mad at number 30? I just wanted to make that comment. Are you guys mad at number? I know I feel like yeah, I would be upset at number 30, but were you mad with the number 30
Um,
spot? Anybody?
I'd say more disappointed.
Okay.
I just felt like 30 would be a bigger surprise.
Well, yes, you may
Um,
not know, just to just quickly say, a lot of people were hoping for Okada, but a famous Japanese wrestler who's a free agent, probably the biggest name in wrestling in the last decade or so. Like he's up there with John Cena and all of these big names, but he was like the guy that was never in WWE and just led this company in Japan for years. But his contract wasn't up until probably in the next 2 or 3 days. It'll be up. So he was never going to be there. But people were hoping still that he would be like number 30 or something.
That's the problem with number 30 though, is like it's over the years it's just created this like impossible set of expectations where it's like I can't think of anyone
hmm
who wasn't already announced to be in the Rumble coming out at number 30 and people not being disappointed.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't going to be The Rock, it wasn't going to be Okada, it wasn't going to be MJF. Like
Oh yeah,
I
that was
don't
another
think,
one.
it's kind of like Liv Morgan being at 30 in the women's. It's like who could you give the 30th spot? We already knew CM Punk, we already knew Cody Rhodes. Like I don't, could you have had someone from the men's Fatal Four Way, like Randy Orton, to get a
Mm.
pop? But it's like, what's the difference? The person wasn't going to win anyway. Like Cody was
Yeah.
going to win. So yeah, but I think like number 30 just carries with it now this like, who's it going to be? Who got the, ideally the most advantageous number? And unless it was The Rock, people were probably going to be disappointed. Like unless it was one of those crazy predictions.
hmm
It could be
hmm
Sami Zayn at 30. You could have had CM Punk come out at 30. Like, wouldn't have really mattered. Um, I don't know. It's cool to see Sami Zayn get a pop, get a little offense
Yeah,
in.
he and even the crowd definitely okay, so look, it's you can you as long as you're not Rey Mysterio, who's beloved babyface coming in at number 30 being booed.
Yeah.
When that was supposed to be Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. Uh yeah, like everyone was singing along to his music when he came out. So it was looks like everyone was fine with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree though with the assessment. It's like it's always hard. But it looks like it was a success. Um, and I think there's a story now right now with that. It's like tonight again, it's Monday night, and Sammy came out to save CM Punk from a beatdown, which
Hmm.
we were if I was Sammy, I would have joined in on that. He just comes in, he's like ready to ring, and he just starts beating up on him, and then another person comes out and just starts beating up on Punk too. Everyone's just they should have just kept going. Fuck it. Break character. I don't care. No, it looks like there's a story there with Drew, which was already there beforehand. And I didn't think they would continue it, but I guess this is gonna lead maybe to like a mini rivalry that will lead to a championship run for or a number one contendership for Drew. I'm hoping for Drew to get that after the Rumble. He got eliminated from Punk. Punk got hurt. Drew could be set up for a potential run now that his main competition is hurt, and that they gave him that heated ass fucking promo.
Yeah, great
Um,
promo.
the thing is now, and we are a long time. I just want to touch bases like so we know Cody won. It doesn't seem like The Rock is in the picture just yet, but that could change easily.
Yeah,
Easily could
literally
change.
on Friday it could be different.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
because he was on ESPN recently talking about how if him and Roman does WrestleMania 40, they have the capacity to make the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Um, so it could happen still.
it could happen, but also Rock said like, he's not in he's willing to listen to what the plan is and not interject, and it seems like he's a fan of Cody and wouldn't want to take that shine away. However, with tonight's um news of again Punk being hurt and then a promo that came out that's already happened, which was Punk and Seth, I mean excuse me, Cody and Seth, they're trying to really make us think that it's going to be Cody versus Seth, even though we know as fans, and this is, and I always thought this was a Vince McMahon thing, but I just think it's a creative thing issue with writers and even Trips. I guess he's not perfect. No one's gonna be perfect, but it's like they like to think we're stupid as fans, and like we know that Cody is 3-0 against Seth. Like you said, Chris, like Seth should just hand over the belt to fucking Cody by default because he's 3-0.
No, dude, you know what I felt watching and like thinking back on this Seth and Cody promo is like, do you remember last year when they sent like Sami Zayn was white hot, like literally the biggest fucking star in the company,
Yeah.
and they had this conundrum of like, well, we want Cody to go to challenge Roman at Mania. Now what do? We have
Hmm.
this guy who's way more popular than him, and they sent them out there to do a promo together to
Yeah.
kind of like test the waters of like, hey, is Cody popular enough for you guys to like not hate the fact that Sammy's not going to be in the main event?
All right.
And this promo honestly felt like, let's just take everyone's temperature. Like,
Uh-huh.
would people be so against the idea of Cody and Seth, and then we book Rock for Mania because he's got 2.5 months or whatever to train? Plus, Roman wrestles like such slow motion matches anyway. It's whatever. That's what this felt like. This felt like they were just testing the waters of like if we because
Hmm.
it now to me it feels like the chances are way higher that Rock and Roman is happening at this year's WrestleMania. And this kind of felt like them like, hey, we might have to change it. What do you guys would you hate this? Because the weirdest thing about Seth's promo is like everything he said
Hmm.
is the exact reason you should challenge Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It's like this guy's never here. He's making an embarrassment out of the championship. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I want to fucking fight him and take the belt.
Yeah. I want to be a working
But
fucking champ.
yeah, I don't know. I'm a little nervous that this was because Vince would always just do random shit.
Yeah.
And one thing with Triple H is like a lot of the stuff he books is very intentional.
Yeah.
And this felt
Intent.
like
Yeah. I get. Yep. I'm
I
reading you.
want to just kind of see like, well, would people like kind of be into this or like
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This to me didn't feel as much like, oh no, we already know he's challenging Roman. This felt like, well, yesterday he was
Yeah.
challenging Roman, and then 24 hours later, things might have changed a little bit, and we need to potentially figure out a backup plan and what would people think. But yeah, I don't know. It was a fun Royal Rumble though. Like overall,
Yeah.
the two Rumbles because the other two matches didn't really matter. So it was fun. It was fun.
Any last thoughts or concerns, my peeps, my boys, my amigos?
I don't
None?
remember one of the other two matches. The only one I remember is KO and this fucker, but what was the other one?
Oh, I just said I would just wrote those off. We weren't gonna do the championship, but we're out of time essentially.
No, I
But
just forgot who it was. I don't really care.
yeah, there you go. Nobody cares. Nobody knows who WWE champion is anymore. But that's
Nobody
okay
doesn't
because
care
we'll have a
anymore.
new champion someday, one day, hopefully, and he will defend the
Eventually.
title. But that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.